The call to the member for Hume.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Prime Minister. Can the Prime Minister confirm that around half of fixed-rate mortgages will end this year? With these interest rate rises, an Australian family with a $500,000 mortgage will have to find an extra $920 every month just to keep up with repayments. Why do Australian families always pay more under Labor?
The call to the Prime Minister.
I thank the member for Hume for his question. Question 4, as predicted. Well, the member asks about interest rates, and a number of questions today and yesterday and previous sitting weeks. I'm asked about what happened, and as if the circumstances changed completely before the election and after the election. But this is what his leader said before the election. We know where these pressures are coming on. We know that the pressures of rising costs of living, the pressures on interest rates are coming from not just the war in Ukraine, which has caused an energy price shock, the likes of which we have not seen for many decades, but secondly, the disruptions to supply chains. Now that is coming from the pandemic. We are still feeling the effects of the rather extraordinary economic times that we are living in. That was the member for Cook just before the election, less than a month before the election. But the member would have Australians believe, watching this, that it was all hunky-dory, that there was no inflation, there were no supply chain issues until there was a change of government. But it's just not true. It's just not true, as he himself said as recently as last September, where he spoke about interest rates bucking decades of downward trends and spoke about the inflationary environment. But he says one thing in here and a different thing.
Oh, I haven't called you yet. I had a suspicion it would be that. Prime Minister was talking about interest rates. The question was about interest rates. I'm going to hear from the member for Hume on a point of order.
Yeah, relevance, Mr Speaker. The question was very specific. Why do Australians always pay more under Labor?
No. I'm going to hear from the Leader of the House.
Mr Speaker, just a point of order. That's a deliberate abuse, an absolute deliberate abuse. And he added, like, if you want to specify where you think something is not being relevant, you specify where you think where the question. No, simply running a slogan for a second time doesn't point to standing orders, and they know that.
Seat. The Prime Minister's in order. The member for Hume, if it happens again, you'll be asked to leave immediately. Is that clear? Give the call to the Prime Minister.
Thanks, Mr Speaker. And yesterday, the member for Hume said that half of mortgages would change. Today, it's just all over the shop. And the truth is, the truth is that the changes to interest rates began on their watch. The inflationary pressures had been there in the economy for a period of time, building up due to, as the former Prime Minister said, the Russian invasion of Ukraine, and also the supply chain issues that emerged from the pandemic. Now, they want to just wish those away, but you can't just wish these things away. You have to act on them, and that's why my government is acting on them.